Hi, I'm George, and we'll be taking a look at the Photoshop Elements grid, which you see on the picture right here, and we'll be using this to help us to fix a perspective. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon for the subscription so that you're going to be getting notifications of my new videos as they come out. I guarantee you'll miss videos if you don't hit that bell icon. Also, take a look at my channel for all of my Photoshop Elements videos. And if you really want to learn how to use Photoshop Elements, the best way to do that is with my complete training course. And there's a link for that right down there in the description. The Photoshop Elements grid is simply a reference tool that sits above your picture. It won't be saved with the picture, it won't be printed with the picture. It's just a reference tool. We can see in here that the left side of our building is off by just a little bit, and the right side here is off by just a little bit, so we can use that to help align this picture. Now you find the grid up here under View, and it's right there, right between Rulers and Guides. And it's in this section because, of course, these all kind of work together. There's the rulers, of course, top and left-hand side. If I grab a ruler, I can pull a guide down. There's a guideline. So you can use all these either separately or together. Also, notice that the grid isn't exactly square. By default, it'll be showing you a percentage of your picture. So the squares here, the rectangles, these are the same ratio as the overall picture. In this case, this is a 4:6. So those have a 4:6 ratio to them. We can change that along with other things. I'll show you those in just a moment here. But one more thing to point out, right down in here on the driveway, notice that the grid kind of disappears on the driveway. That's because the driveway is the same color, the same gray as the grid. We can fix this, and we can also adjust this setting up here very easily in Preferences. Go up to Edit, come down to Preferences right here, and you'll see Guides and Grid. Just bring this one up. There we go. Now in here, two sections. Guides is the top section. We'll ignore that. The second section here is Grid. You can see several things here. You can choose just a standard color right off of this. There's a custom color, which is this kind of a medium gray tone in there. So we'll change ours to a cyan. There it is. So much easier to see. You can see now I can see the grid on that driveway. So you can go ahead and choose any color that you want. You can click on Custom and choose a different color over here from Custom. It's up to you. So you can adjust this grid until it's easiest for you to see it. Whether you want it lighter or darker, that's really up to you. It's just a personal preference. I'll go a little bit darker on this video so you can see that down there on that driveway. On lines, you have lines like we see here, just regular straight lines. Or you can do dashed lines. They're a little harder to see. Or you can do dots. Dots tend to be really hard to see. They're there, but they're really hard to see. If I zoomed in, we could see those dots in there. I'll stick with the default, which is just lines. Now again, this doesn't print with your picture, doesn't save with your picture, so there's no real loss if this is showing too much here. Not a problem. Now over here, here is the grid line spacing. Right now it's set at 2.5%, so each one of these grids is 2.5% of the whole thing. You can change this to pixels or inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, picos, or the percent. I'll change mine to inches. Let's set a grid line every 1 inch. There we go. You see up here there's 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. And we'll set our subdivisions at 8. You see little thinner lines in there? Those are your subdivisions. So now I have this thing showing me 1/8 inch separations in here with darker lines at the 1 inch point. So you can come in and you can be real specific on how the look of the grid is showing for you. Now it's a bit hard to see down here. I want to have that showing very well on the left hand side right there against that brick wall, and same thing on the right. I want to see that better. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to get rid of the subdivisions, and we'll change our grid here. 0.125 is 1/8 of an inch. There we go. So every 1/8 of an inch we have a grid line, and they're nice and dark, easy to see in here. Now on this side, it's dark against dark, so I may want to adjust the color. Let's just try cyan. Okay, I can really see that on the left-hand side here, and I can really see that over here. So for this picture, the cyan is just what I want to be able to see this grid for our adjustment. You can also click right here, and this brings up your color choice there as well. You don't have to use the drop-down. Okay, there we go. We've adjusted that grid. If you want to, you can click on Reset and put it back to its defaults. I'll leave it at this setting, though, for this video. Let's now see how we can use this to adjust the perspective of our image. Again, you can show and hide that. It's right here. So there's hidden, and there's shown. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here so I have some space to work with. Go about that far out. There we are. And I'll make a copy of the background layer. Right click and this duplicate layer. Because we'll be changing the image up here, I want to have the background saved as a safety. All right, back to our move tool. Let's go up to image, come down to transform and choose distort. I like using distort the most because you can really move everything around exactly the way you want to get the perspective shift that you want. We're looking at the right hand side first, and I'll just grab this upper right hand corner and you can pull this out. Notice you can move the corner around anywhere you want. I'll leave it aligned with the top of the picture, and I'll just pull it back and forth, just in and out a little bit until I can see a nice alignment. That looks pretty good right there. Looks like that side now is aligning up with that side of that grid. So there we go. Same thing over here. Let's grab the upper left-hand corner. I'll just pull it straight to the side. And notice that's kind of snapping right there. Bit of a snap happening. You may not want to have that snap. It may be taken to the wrong location. So let's just go up here to View, come down to Snap to, and I'm going to uncheck Grid, and let's see if that will allow us to move that a bit more. There we go. So now I can move this just exactly where I want. And there we go. So this side of the building now aligns exactly to that grid line, and this side looks like it's a really good match over here. I'll choose OK. And now the building is nice and straight. Let's just hide the grid. Looks good. Last thing I want to check here, just a couple of things. I want to make sure that this is looking nice. So here it is, there's before and after. So the before, which is this, is a little taller than the after. So the picture got squashed just a little bit in doing this perspective shift. We can make an adjustment for that. I'll go to this picture here and let's zoom in just a bit. I want to have a little bit of space above the page there. That looks good. And here's our before. We're on the before right now. I'll pull down a guideline just to the top edge of that roof, right there, top of the roof line. And let's go back up here to our background copy. You can see the roof is just a little bit low. So I'll grab this center control point here. I'll just pull this up just a little bit until it reaches that line. There it is. Okay, it's just a hair too tall. I'm going to zoom in on this and get even a better control on that. There we go. Pull that down just a hair. And that's too low. Now it's snapping right to the edge here of the picture. That was what was catching me. So go up to View, come down to Snap to, and uncheck Document Bounds. And now it shouldn't snap to that edge. There we go. Now I can be a bit more precise about that. Choose OK. And let's check that. Okay, that's right there. All right, there we go. Let's go back to Fit Screen. And let's get rid of that guide. And there it is. A nice, perfectly straight picture. Cleaned up by using that grid to let us easily align the edges of our picture to that grid. So there you go. That's how to use the Photoshop Elements grid to help you align or correct perspective. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, click on sub, take a look at my channel for all of my other Photoshop Elements videos, and take a look at my complete training course for Photoshop Elements. It really is the best way to learn how to use this program. All right, and I'll see you next time.